think about this for a moment. How many of your problems are actually real, and how many are just thoughts inside your head? Right now, as you're watching this, your mind is already creating something, a quiet worry, a memory from the past, a fear about the future, a story that feels completely real. And without even noticing, you believe it instantly. You don't stop, you don't question it, you don't step back, you just follow it. And that one habit is quietly destroying your peace every single day. It turns calm moments into stress, silence into overthinking, and simple situations into heavy emotional pain. And the most dangerous part is, it feels completely normal. You think this is just how life is, but it's not. It's a pattern running inside your mind, controlling how you feel without your awareness. But once you see this pattern clearly, once you understand what your mind is really doing, everything begins to change. You stop believing everything. You stop reacting to everything. And for the first time, you start experiencing real peace again. You treat every thought as truth without question. The moment a thought appears in your mind, you believe it. You don't pause. You don't question it. You don't step back and look at it. You just accept it instantly, like it must be true. And this happens so fast, you don't even notice it. Your mind says something bad might happen, and suddenly your chest feels tight. It says someone doesn't care about you, and your heart feels heavy. It says you are not good enough, and your confidence starts to disappear. All of this from just one thought. But here is the truth most people never realize. A thought is not reality. It is not a fact. It is not something solid. It is just a voice, a sentence, a small story inside your mind. It comes from nowhere, and after a while, it disappears again. But because you believe it so quickly, it starts to control how you feel. Your emotions change, your energy drops, your peace fades away. Not because something real happened in your life, but because of something your mind said for a few seconds. And the dangerous part is, your mind does this all day. Hundreds of thoughts, one after another, and you keep believing them. You never stop to ask, is this actually true? Is this helpful? Is this even real? You just follow it again and again until your whole mood is shaped by it. This is how your peace is quietly taken away without you even noticing. But the moment you slow down, even a little, and you see a thought for what it really is, something begins to change. You create space. You stop reacting so quickly. You stop getting pulled into every story your mind creates. And suddenly, you realize something powerful. Just because a thought appears doesn't mean you have to believe it. Just because your mind says something doesn't mean it is true. You can watch it without following it. You can hear it without obeying it. And in that small moment of awareness, you take your power back, because your peace was never taken by your thoughts. It was taken by believing them without question. And the moment you stop doing that, everything begins to feel lighter, calmer, and more in your control. You relive the past until it becomes your present. Your mind has a quiet habit. It keeps going back to what is already over. It takes you to moments that no longer exist, conversations that ended, situations that passed, people who are no longer part of your life in the same way. And instead of letting those moments rest, your mind keeps replaying them again and again, as if something can still be changed. You sit there, but you are not really in the present. Your body is here, but your mind is somewhere behind you, walking through old memories like they are still alive. You start thinking about what you should have said, what you should have done, how things could have gone differently if you acted another way. The mind creates new versions of the past, better versions, painful versions, and you get pulled into all of them. And the strange part is, every time you replay it, your emotions return with it. You feel the same regret, the same anger, the same sadness, as if it is happening right now. Your heart reacts, your mood changes, your peace disappears, even though nothing is actually happening in this moment. The past is gone, but your mind keeps bringing it back and turning it into your present experience. This is how your peace is quietly taken away, not by what happened, but by your mind refusing to let it go. You are not suffering from the past itself. You are suffering from the constant remembering of it. The memory becomes heavier each time you revisit it, because you keep adding thoughts to it, judgments to it, and emotions to it. Your mind tells you that thinking about it will help you understand it, fix it, or find closure. But most of the time, it only keeps you stuck. You go in circles, repeating the same thoughts, feeling the same emotions, without moving forward. Days pass, moments pass, opportunities pass, and you are still mentally living in something that is already finished. Peace cannot exist like this, because peace lives in the present moment, and the present moment has no space for old stories. The more you stay connected to what is gone, the more disconnected you become from what is here. The truth is, nothing you do now can change what already happened. No amount of thinking, no amount of replaying, no amount of regret can go back and rewrite that moment. The only thing it can do is take away your peace right now. And the moment you see this clearly, something begins to shift inside you. You start to realize that holding on to the past is not helping you, it is hurting you. You begin to loosen your grip, slowly, gently, without forcing it. You allow the memory to be there, but you stop feeding it with more thoughts. You let it come, and you let it pass, without following it deeper. And little by little, the weight starts to lift, because the past only has power when you keep bringing it into the present. And the moment you stop doing that, you free yourself, not by forgetting what happened, but by no longer living inside it. You create fear from futures that don't exist. Your mind does not only live in the past, it also keeps running into the future. And most of the time, it doesn't go there with peace, it goes there with fear. It starts creating possibilities, situations, outcomes that have not happened yet, and it presents them to you as if they are real. You begin to think about what might go wrong, what could fall apart, what you might lose, what might not work out. The mind keeps asking, what if this fails? What if they leave? What if I am not ready? What if everything goes wrong? And without realizing it, your body starts reacting to these thoughts. Your heart feels heavy, your chest tightens, your energy drops, even though nothing has actually happened. This is how powerful the mind is. It can create a future that does not exist and still make you feel it in the present. You start living in fear, not because of reality, but because of imagination. And the more you follow these thoughts, the more real they begin to feel. The strange truth is, most of the things you worry about never happen. Many of the fears your mind creates never become real situations in your life. But your mind does not remind you of that. It keeps creating new scenarios, new problems, new fears, pulling you further away from the present moment. And slowly, this becomes a habit. Instead of living your life as it is, you start living inside possibilities that are not even real. You carry stress for things that have not happened. You feel pressure for outcomes that may never come, and you lose your peace before anything even begins. Your mind tells you that this is preparation, that thinking about the future will protect you, that worrying will help you avoid pain, but in reality, it only creates unnecessary suffering. It drains your energy, it clouds your clarity, and it keeps you trapped in a state of constant tension. Peace cannot exist when you are always somewhere else. When your mind is always ahead, always trying to control what has not yet come, you miss what is right in front of you. You miss the only moment that is real, the present. The future is not happening right now, it is only a thought. And no matter how many times you think about it, you cannot live it before it arrives. You can only imagine it, and most of that imagination is not even accurate. The moment you start to see this clearly, something begins to change inside you. You realize that you don't have to follow every what if your mind creates. You don't have to give your energy to fears that are not real. You can notice them without becoming them. You can bring yourself back to what is actually happening right now, to what is real, to what is in front of you, to what you can actually see and touch and experience. And in that moment, your mind becomes quieter, because fear needs imagination to survive. And the moment you stop feeding it with endless future thoughts, it begins to fade. Not because life becomes perfect, but because you stop suffering from things that don't even exist. You judge everything and turn reality into resistance. Your mind is always judging, even when you don't notice it. From the moment you wake up until the moment you sleep, it keeps labeling everything around you. This is good, this is bad, this should not be happening, this is unfair, this is not how things were supposed to be. At first, this feels normal. It feels like you are simply understanding life. But what is really happening is much deeper. The moment your mind judges something as wrong, it starts resisting it. It creates a silent fight inside you. Something small happens, maybe not the way you expected, and your mind immediately reacts. It says, this is not right. This should change. This should not be like this. And in that moment, tension begins. You feel uncomfortable, irritated, restless, even though the situation itself might be simple. This is how peace is quietly taken away. Not because of what is happening, but because your mind refuses to accept what is happening. Reality is already here. It is already happening, but your mind is busy arguing with it. It is comparing what is with what it thinks should be. And that gap between reality and expectation is where suffering begins. You might not even realize how often this happens. It happens when things don't go your way, when people behave differently than you expected, when life does not match the picture you had in your mind. In each of these moments, your mind reacts with judgment, and every judgment adds weight inside you. It adds pressure, resistance, emotional tension. The more you judge, the more uncomfortable you feel, because deep inside, you are trying to change something that is already happening. But reality does not move according to your thoughts. It does not adjust itself just because your mind disagrees with it. So the more you fight it, the more tired you become. This is why even small situations can feel heavy, not because they are truly difficult, but because your mind is resisting them. It is turning simple moments into internal battles. Peace does not come from controlling everything around you. It comes from changing how you relate to what is already here. The moment you stop labeling everything as good or bad, right or wrong, something begins to soften inside you. You start seeing things as they are, without adding extra meaning to them. You stop fighting every small detail. You stop reacting to every discomfort. You stop creating unnecessary tension, and slowly, your mind begins to relax. This does not mean you agree with everything. It does not mean you like everything. It simply means you are no longer creating inner resistance against what already exists. Because the truth is, most of your suffering is not coming from life itself. It is coming from your judgment of life. And the moment you see that clearly, you begin to let go of the need to fight everything. You allow things to be just as they are, without turning them into a problem inside your mind. And in that space, peace naturally begins to return. You make everything personal and suffer for no reason. There is a quiet pattern inside your mind that creates pain even when nothing is actually wrong. It takes situations that are neutral, simple, ordinary, and turns them into something personal. It makes everything about you, even when it has nothing to do with you. Someone's tone changes, and your mind immediately starts creating a story. Maybe they are upset with me. Maybe I did something wrong. Maybe they don't respect me anymore. You don't stop to check. You don't pause to observe. You just believe the story your mind creates. Someone doesn't reply the way you expected, and suddenly your mood shifts. You start thinking they are ignoring you, they don't care, you are not important to them. But in reality, they might just be busy, tired, distracted, or dealing with something in their own life. The problem is not what happened. The problem is the meaning your mind gives to what happened. Your mind takes small actions, small changes, small moments, and turns them into something about you. It connects everything to your worth, your value, your place in someone else's life. And once that happens, your emotions follow immediately. You feel hurt, rejected, insecure, even when there is no real reason for it. This is how your peace is quietly taken away, not by people, not by situations, but by the stories your mind creates about them. And the more you repeat this habit, the more sensitive you become. You start reacting to things that were never meant to hurt you. You start carrying emotions that were never necessary. You begin to feel heavy, even in moments that could have been light. What makes this even more powerful is that it feels real. The story in your mind feels true. The emotions feel justified. So you don't question it, you don't step back, you don't see it clearly. But if you slow down, even a little, you begin to notice something important. Not everything is about you. People are living in their own minds, just like you are. They are dealing with their own thoughts, their own struggles, their own emotions, their own distractions. Their actions are often a reflection of their inner state, not a judgment of your worth. But your mind ignores this. It creates a center and places you in it. It turns every situation into something personal, something emotional, something heavy, and this is where unnecessary suffering begins. The moment you stop taking everything personally, something shifts inside you. You feel lighter, you feel calmer. You stop reacting to every small change, every small behavior, every small moment. You begin to see things more clearly without adding stories to them. You allow people to be as they are, without turning it into something about you. And in that space, your peace starts to return. Because the truth is, most of the pain you feel is not coming from what people do. It is coming from what your mind thinks it means. And the moment you stop believing every meaning your mind creates, you free yourself from so much unnecessary weight. You can't sit in silence without escaping into thought. There is a moment, very simple, but very revealing, when everything becomes quiet. No noise, no conversation, no distraction, just you and your mind. And in that moment, something uncomfortable begins to happen. Your mind starts moving, not slowly, but immediately. It begins thinking, remembering, planning, worrying, jumping from one idea to another without stopping. You don't tell it to do this, it just happens. And instead of noticing it, you follow it. You get pulled into thought after thought, without even realizing it. This is the habit you have built over time. You have trained your mind to never be still. You have become so used to constant thinking that silence feels strange. It feels empty. It feels uncomfortable. It even feels wrong. So your mind fills that space again and again with noise, even when nothing needs to be solved, even when nothing is actually wrong. Your mind keeps searching for something to think about. It looks for problems, it creates scenarios, it brings back memories, it imagines the future, anything just to avoid stillness. And slowly, this becomes your normal state. You are always mentally busy, always occupied, always thinking. But here is what you don't see. This constant mental movement is draining your peace, because peace does not live in noise. Peace does not exist in endless thinking. Peace exists in stillness, in quiet moments where nothing needs to be added, nothing needs to be fixed, nothing needs to be figured out. But your mind has forgotten how to be in that space. It has become addicted to movement. It feels like if it stops, something is missing. So it keeps going again and again, without rest. And the more it moves, the more restless you feel. Even when you are sitting still, your mind is running. Even when life is calm, your thoughts are not. And this is why peace feels so far away. Not because it is hard to reach, but because your mind never gives it space to exist. The moment you begin to notice this, something starts to change. You realize that not every moment needs to be filled. Not every silence needs to be escaped. You can sit without thinking. You can breathe without analyzing. You can be present without adding more. At first, it feels uncomfortable. Your mind will try to pull you back into noise. It will bring thoughts, one after another, trying to keep you busy. But if you stay, if you don't follow them, if you simply observe, something beautiful begins to happen. The mind starts to slow down. The space between thoughts becomes larger. The noise becomes softer. And in that quiet space, you begin to feel something you may have forgotten. Calmness, lightness, peace. Because peace was never missing, it was always there, hidden behind the constant noise of your thoughts. And the moment you stop escaping silence, you finally allow yourself to feel it again. You compare your reality to illusions and feel less. Your mind has a quiet habit. It is always looking outward, always watching, always measuring, always comparing. You see other people's lives, their success, their happiness, their progress. And without even realizing it, something inside you begins to shift. You start thinking they are ahead, they are doing better, they have more, they are happier than you. And in that moment, your own life starts to feel smaller. Nothing in your life has actually changed, but your feeling about it has. This is how powerful comparison is. It can take a normal, peaceful moment and turn it into dissatisfaction within seconds. But what your mind does not show you is the full picture. You are comparing your real life, your full experience, with someone else's visible moments. You see what they show, not what they struggle with. You see their highlights, not their doubts, not their fears, not their hidden pain. But your mind ignores this completely. It creates an illusion and then compares you to it. And of course, you feel less because you are comparing something real with something incomplete. This habit slowly takes away your peace. You stop appreciating what you have because you are focused on what you don't have. You stop feeling content because your mind keeps telling you that you are behind. You stop enjoying your own journey because you are busy watching someone else's. And the more you do this, the heavier you feel. It creates pressure, insecurity, restlessness. You begin to feel like you are not enough, like you are not where you should be, like something is missing in your life. But the truth is, nothing is missing. What is missing is your attention on your own life. Your mind has been trained to look outside instead of looking within. It has been trained to measure instead of understanding. And because of that, it keeps creating a sense of lack, even when your life is complete in its own way. Every person has a different path, a different timing, a different journey, but comparison ignores all of that. It tries to make everything the same and then makes you feel wrong for not matching it. This is where suffering begins. The moment you see this clearly, something changes inside you. You start to step back. You begin to notice when your mind is comparing instead of getting lost in it. You remind yourself that what you see is not the full truth. You bring your attention back to your own life, your own path, your own growth, and slowly the pressure begins to fade. You start to feel lighter, calmer, more at peace. Because you are no longer measuring your life against illusions, you are finally living it as it is. And in that space, something very simple but very powerful returns: contentment. Not because everything is perfect, but because you are no longer comparing your reality to something that was never real in the first place. You fight what you cannot control and lose your peace. There is a deep habit inside your mind. It wants control. It wants life to go a certain way. It wants people to act the way you expect. It wants outcomes to match your plans. It wants certainty, clarity, and predictability. And when life doesn't give you that, something inside you starts resisting. You feel it slowly building: frustration, tension, discomfort, because reality is not matching the picture in your mind. Things don't go as planned. People don't behave the way you hoped. Situations change without your permission, and your mind reacts immediately. It says this should not be happening. This is not fair. This needs to change. But the truth is, There are many things in life you cannot control. You cannot control how others think. You cannot control how they feel. You cannot control when something will happen or how it will turn out. You cannot control change. And yet, your mind keeps trying. It keeps pushing, forcing, overthinking, trying to find a way to fix everything. But the more you try to control what is not in your hands, the more exhausted you become. You start carrying a weight that was never meant for you. You begin to feel tired, overwhelmed, restless, even when you are doing nothing physically, because mentally you are fighting reality. And this is where your peace disappears, not because life is always difficult, but because your mind refuses to accept what it cannot control. It keeps holding on, even when holding on is what is hurting you. It keeps resisting, even when resistance is creating the pain. You might think that if you just try harder, think more, control more, things will finally settle. But control is an illusion. The more you chase it, the further peace moves away from you. Because peace does not come from controlling everything. It comes from understanding what you can control and what you cannot. You can control your actions. You can control your effort. You can control how you respond. But beyond that, life has its own flow. And the moment you stop fighting that flow, something inside you relaxes. You stop forcing everything to go your way. You stop carrying outcomes that are not yours to carry. You allow things to unfold without turning them into a mental struggle. This does not mean you give up. It means you stop fighting what is already outside your control. And in that moment, your mind becomes lighter. Your body relaxes. Your thoughts slow down. Because the battle inside you begins to end. You are no longer trying to control everything. You are simply allowing life to move while you move with it. And in that space, peace begins to return. Not because everything is perfect, but because you are no longer at war with reality. You never step back and realize you are not your mind. There is one habit deeper than all the others, and it is the reason everything else feels so powerful. You never step back from your mind. You live inside it every moment without any distance. Every thought that appears feels like it is you. Every emotion that rises feels like it defines you. Every story your mind creates feels like your reality. And because of this, you don't just experience your thoughts, you become them. When a negative thought appears, you don't see it as just a thought. You feel like it is your truth. When your mind says something about you, you don't question it. You accept it as if it is who you are. And this is where the deepest form of suffering begins. Because now, you are not just dealing with thoughts, you are trapped inside them. Your mind becomes your identity. Its voice becomes your voice. Its stories become your life. And without even realizing it, you lose the ability to see clearly. But here is something very important, something that can change everything. You are not your thoughts. You are not the voice inside your head. You are the one who can notice that voice. You are the one who can watch those thoughts appear and disappear. But because you have never practiced stepping back, you don't experience this separation. You are always inside the storm, never outside it. So every thought feels real. Every emotion feels overwhelming. Every reaction feels automatic. But the moment you take even a small step back, everything begins to shift. You start to notice your thoughts. Instead of becoming them, you see them come and you see them go. You realize that they are changing all the time, never staying the same. And if they are always changing, how can they be who you are? This small awareness creates space, and in that space, something powerful happens. You are no longer controlled by every thought. You don't react instantly. You don't believe everything. You begin to choose instead of being pulled. At first, this feels new. Your mind will still try to pull you back in. It will bring more thoughts, louder thoughts, stronger emotions. But now, you can see it. You can watch it happening. And because you can see it, it starts to lose its power. Slowly, your reactions become softer. Your mind becomes quieter. Your emotions become lighter. Not because your thoughts have disappeared, but because you are no longer lost inside them. You have created distance, you have stepped back, and in that space, peace begins to grow. Because peace is not about stopping your mind completely. It is about no longer being controlled by it. It is about realizing that you are the observer, not the noise. And once you truly understand this, everything changes, not suddenly, but slowly, gently, deeply. Your mind is still there, but it no longer owns you. And for the first time, you feel free inside yourself. If something in this video spoke to you, don't just move on like you always do. Pause, because this is the moment where most people lose the change they were about to experience. They hear something powerful, they feel it for a few seconds, and then they go right back into the same habits. Don't let that happen this time. Take one lesson from this video, just one, and start noticing it in your daily life. When a thought appears, don't believe it immediately. When your mind goes to the past, bring it back. When it starts creating fear about the future, remind yourself nothing is happening right now. Just become aware, that's all, because awareness is where everything begins to change. And if you want more videos like this, deeper, calmer, more powerful, then subscribe to this channel. This is not just content. This is a path to a different way of living, a quieter mind, a lighter heart, a more peaceful life. And if you truly want that, stay connected. Now listen carefully. Your peace was never far away. It was never hidden somewhere outside you. It was always here, underneath the noise, underneath the thoughts, underneath the habits you never questioned. All this time, you were searching for peace, while your mind was the one disturbing it. But now, you can see it. Now, you are aware, and that changes everything. Because the moment you stop believing every thought, the moment you stop chasing every feeling, the moment you step back and simply observe, you break the pattern. And when the pattern breaks, peace returns. Slowly, gently, naturally, not because life becomes perfect, but because you are no longer creating unnecessary suffering inside your own mind. So from this moment forward, watch your thoughts, but don't follow them. Feel your emotions, but don't become them. Live your life, but don't let your mind control it. And you will begin to experience something most people spend their entire lives searching for: a quiet mind, a steady heart, and a peace that no situation can take away.